say generally all the top European leagues, but right now what is transpiring in the country is the draws of the Stanbic Uganda Cup round of 32 and also in Saudi Professional League, and most of the people like calling it Saudi Pro League. The league has already reached at the peak. Why am I saying so? Because people have started falling in love with that Saudi Professional League. I don't know if it's because of that Cristiano Ronaldo, because we are all aware that the other time he left Old Trafford going to Saudi Professional League to play for a team called Al Nassr, and also Neymar leaving that's Paris Saint-Germain going the other side. Unfortunately, he has been out injured and he has also got a new club for himself. I'm talking about Darcy Neymar for you. So many things continues to transpire in the world of sports. As I said, my name is Oraku Benson Pastore, and as I had said, we are commencing everything with what's happened within the region of West Nile, more especially the 4th Division League. I can confirm to you, 4th Division League in some of the DFAs have already commenced. You talk about Maracha DFA, you may mention Arua DFA. As I speak right now, these games are currently going on, and this evening expect a very big cracker, and it will be top of the table class between a team called Odumi Football Club and a team called Super Eagles Ayevo, and this game will actually be hosted by Odumi Football Club. That means it will be at the home ground of Odumi Football Club, and the kick-off time will be at 4 p.m. East African time. It is the top of the table class between it's a top of the table class because it's a game between the team that's sitting on top with a team that's sitting second on the log. As I speak right now, the team that's leading the race in Arua DFA 4th Division League is the team in the names of Super Eagles Ayevo, being followed by Odumi Football Club. What about the update that is coming from Maracha DFA? I can also confirm to you things also going so well that side of Maracha, and one team which is impressing the fans so much is a team called Oluvu United. Oluvu United is right now the team that's leading the table as far as the table standing of 4th Division League in Maracha is concerned. Meanwhile, teams like Sunrise or Fude, they are also performing very well. Meanwhile, some of the teams are not performing very well. The likes of Future, Metal is also not performing very well. We are waiting to see how, of course, things will transpire at the end of the season, and 4th Division League in Maracha will be bouncing back over the weekend with so many games on the card. Let's leave that one there, and we also get to that West Nile Regional League because first phase of the season has already come to an end, and I know fans of West Nile Regional League, they are waiting to see when the second phase will be bouncing back. I can confirm to you next week is when the second phase of West Nile Regional League, both Nyagaki Zone and Nile Zone, will be bouncing back. And some of the teams did make headlines in the first phase, the likes of Nebi Central. That's why they are sitting on top of the log in Nyagaki Zone. They are being followed keenly by a team called Kluva Rainbow, and the table continues up to the last slot there. Meanwhile, in Nile Zone, a team in the names of Odamatako Central is also performing very well. As I speak right now, they are leading the log with 26 points. In the first round, they only lost one game, and that one was at the beginning of the season. That slim as defeat they had into the hands of a team that comes from Koboko DFA in the names of Koboko Rising Stars. After that, they kept winning games for fun, sometimes demolishing teams by 8 goals to 2, 6 goals to 2. That is the team of Odamatako Central Football Club for you. There seems to be set that's ahead of the qualifications of the second tier of Ugandan football. I am talking about Bet Power FUFA Big League. We are waiting to see if things will continue to transpire very well on the side of Das Rhinos, Hippos rather. I'm talking about the team of Odamatako Central Football Club, and they have been followed keenly by some of the teams like Total. Total is a team that's from Yumbe DFA. You may also mention teams like Koboko Rising Stars. These teams, they are all following the team of Odamatako Central. But if you look at the points gap between Odamatako Central and teams that are currently following the team, it seems to be matched. Right now, the points gap is 6 points, and this is Ugandan football and African football at large, and this is the West Nile Regional League, and we never know if they continue with the brilliant performance they had in the first phase of the season. They are likely to qualify for the playoffs. That is the team of Adamatako Central Football Club for you. I'm not saying that they're already through, but they seems to be having upper hand as far as sealing the qualifications for the playoffs is concerned. Let's leave the stories about the West Nile Regional League there. That's both Nyagaki Zone and the Nile Zone. Let's now take our train to what is happening in the Stanbic Uganda Cup. As I had said earlier on, the talking point all over the country is all about the draws of the Stanbic Uganda Cup round of 32, whereby we have seen so many teams being pitted, and some of the teams that are playing in regional league, they have been pitted against the teams that are playing in the top tier of Ugandan football. Some of the teams in Bet Power Fufa Big League being pitted against some of the teams that are playing in Star Times Uganda Premier League. And as I speak right now, we are only left with 32 teams in the 2024/2025 edition of Stanbic Uganda Cup. Let's take a look at the draws and some of the teams right now. What I can say is teams we have in from West Nile region, they did perform very well in the round of 64. You may mention teams like Kapakwatsi Youngsters. You may mention teams like Total. You talk about Adamatako Central, Kuluva Rainbow. And for Kuluva Rainbow, they have a tight fixer, a quick fixer against KCA. Meanwhile, for the team of Total, after knocking out Arua Hill Sports Club, they have been rewarded. They have been rewarded with a home game up against Express, and Express is a team that is having experience when it comes to Stanbic Uganda Cup, so they will be taking on Total. Meanwhile, for Kuluva Rainbow, as I said earlier on, they will be sitting at home at Kuluva Rainbow Arena as they will be taking on the team of Kasasiro Boys. What about for Adamatako? Adamatako, they will be traveling away almost next to Kenya as they will be taking on Kataka. And there is one team, Pakwatsi Youngsters, they have also been pitted against a team called UPDF. Let's go systematically. Mabira Town Council Football Club, as I had said earlier on, they have been pitted against URA Football Club. Away from that, Express, they are having a date up against Total Football Club. Let's have some moments about this game between Total and Express. This one seems to be a trick fixer for the team of Das Total because of the pedigree, the history, their opponents are having. I'm talking about the team of Express, but looking at the team of Das Total, they seems to be rejuvenated. Look at the opponent. They did knock out in the round of 64. It was not all that a mere opponent. You talk about Arua Hill Sports Club. This is a team that is having a pedigree. When you talk about Ugandan football, because there was a time they were playing in the top tier of Ugandan football. I am talking about Star Times Uganda Premier League, and they did beat Arua Hill Sports Club by 2-0. And after that, like I said earlier on, now being pitted against a team called Express. You look at Express, this is a team that is also having a pedigree of playing in the tournament, and they will want to go very far. If things go on very well, they will want to win the tournament such that they keep it at the peak. Now the question is, can they be able to surpass that Total by defeating them? Remember, this is a tournament. Once you are beaten, you pack your things, you go for the domestic league. And you also talk about Total. Can they be able to carry the brilliant performance they had against the team of Arua Hill Sports Club? Maybe put that star performance against the team of Express to see that they go up to the round of 16 is actually what everyone is waiting to see. So that is the big thing I can give you about the game between Express and the team of Total. I want to repeat it again. This game will be in Yumbe, as Total will have to play there. Will have to prepare their playing ground to face that Express. And also Chitara, Airtel Chitara, the defending champions, they have been rewarded with an away game up against Katida FC. This is an away fixer for them. You know the pressure of being defending champions. Chitara, last season, they were promoted to the top tier of Ugandan football. They performed very well to the extent of lifting Stanbic Uganda Cup. Now the question is, can they be able to defend it? Is actually what everyone is waiting to see. There seems to be having a minor fixer up against Katida, and this game will be away from home. Meanwhile, for Midigo Calvary, They're having a game up against Lugazi. Lugazi right now, they are playing in StarTimes Uganda Premier League. Calvary is playing in Bet Power Fufa Big League. They are doing very well. Lugazi, they are sitting almost in a relegation zone. But this one we can't say that we can't rule them completely out of the game. This one is a 50-50 game between the two sides. What about Odamatako Central? Odamatako Central Football Club, they will be having an away fixer to Kataka. Odamatako Central in the round of 64, they had a game up against Spider Black Angels and they had a brilliant performance, putting a star performance there, knocking out Spider Black Angels by beating them by 2-0. Now, going away to Mbale to play a team called Dasi Kataka. Can they be able to go past Kataka? Because we all know the atmosphere when it comes to playing at Mbale Municipal Center. That is where the team of Kataka plays. So we are waiting to see how things will also transpire in that particular encounter. What about for Sports Club Villa? One of the giants we have in Ugandan football, actually the record holders of the StarTimes Uganda Premier League Gong. They will be traveling away to Simba Football Club. For Rwenzori Lions, they are having a game up against Buyimba United Saints. What about for Busia Youngsters? Busia Youngsters, they will be traveling away to Karo Karunji. Karo Karunji is a team that plays in Bet Power Fufa Bug League. What about for Kluva Rainbow? As I had said earlier on when I was giving the highlights of the discussion, they will be sitting at home as they welcome Kasasiro Boys. Kasasiro Boys, I am talking about the team of KCA. It's a trick fixer for the both sides. I cannot say that KCA will just come there and beat Kluva Rainbow for fun. I can't also say that Kluva Rainbow, because they are at home, they will be able to beat us KCA in an easy way. This is, I should say, in terms of percentage, I should say 70%. It's in favor of the team of KCA. Meanwhile, the other percentage, which is 30, is going into the hands of that Kluva Rainbow. Why am I saying this one? Why am I giving higher percentage for the team of Kasasiro Boys? Because they understand the league, they have the pedigree, they have the history, and you look at the squad they have in. That is the reason as to why I'm saying that they have a high advantage ahead of the team of Kluva Rainbow. What about Kluva Rainbow? It is the first of its kind. We are seeing them going to the round of 32 of Stanbic Uganda Cup, and the excitement is all over. When excitement is there, obviously, things go well. Will the excitement be the one to change the result for the team of Kluva Rainbow? Will it be the pitch or is the playing ground they will be using that will change things for the team of Kluva Rainbow? Is actually what everyone is waiting to see. To me, as I said earlier on, 30% is going for the team of Kluva Rainbow. Meanwhile, 70% has gone into the hands of the Kasasiro Boys. We are waiting to see how these games will transpire. What about Mbara City Football Club? Mbara City Football Club have been rewarded with an away fixer at St. Mary's Sitande the St. Mary's Sitande playing ground as they travel away to Vipers Sports Club. And for Pakwati Youngsters last season, they performed very well till they were knocked out by a team called the Pajule Lions. And this time, in the round of 32, they have been rewarded with a game up against UPDF. And for Soltino Bright Stars of Nelson Senkatuka, they will be traveling away to the Kavumbari Recreational Center to take on Police Football Club. Meanwhile, for Bull, they have mastered the competition. They have been winning the competition before. And this time, they are having a game up against Bigoigo Leopards. And second last on the card is a game between Wakiso Giants up against Maroons. And this is also an interesting game because you look at the both sides, they are all playing in StarTimes Uganda Premier League. It's an affair for the teams that are playing in StarTimes Uganda Premier League. And we are waiting to see which team will be in position to go past the round of 32. And NEC, meanwhile, will be having a game up against a team in the names of Blacks Power. Blacks Power is a team that is currently playing in Bet Power Fufa Big League. They are from Olira, and right now they sit on top of the log in Bet Power Fufa Big League. But this is a different tournament. Its tension is there because you play, you win, you go ahead, you are defeated, you come back for the concentration in that domestic league. Let's leave that one there, and we talk about the ongoing start times Uganda Premier League. Vipers seems to be performing very well, because you look at the log right now, they are maintaining the log. They sit on top with the 37 points, being followed keenly by a team called NEC. NEC right now, they have 33 points, but the team of Vipers have played a game ahead of the team of NEC. That means they have played 16 games. Meanwhile, for the team of NEC, they have only played 15 games. In case they win their game today, they will go to 36 points. That means the team of Vipers, that's Venoms, will only be a point ahead of NEC. Third on the log is Express. Express is having 25 points only. The Kasasiro boys, I am talking about the team of KCA that started very well. They have dropped to number 4 with the 24 points. Matthias, they have played a game less than that Vipers, because if you talk about Ugandan football, there are only 4 major teams that are always rivals. They always compete amidst themselves. You talk about Vipers Sports Club, you mention KCA, you may talk about Sports Club Villa, not forgetting about Express. These are the teams that are always competing when it comes to fighting for the gong. Where is the gong of the Start Times Uganda Premier League? But right now, the team of Kasasiro boys, they are not performing very well. Bull that started the season very well, they have dropped somewhere at number 9. They have dropped somewhere at number 9. What about Sports Club Villa? Sports Club Villa, they sit at number 8 there. What about in the relegation zone? Teams like Wakiso Zai, talk Chino Bright Stars, you mentioned teams like Mbale Heroes. These are the teams that are sharing the cakes of that relegation. Let's leave that one there, and we now talk about the games that are set to be played in Start Times Uganda Premier League today and tomorrow. Today we have in around 3 games on card, with the Lugazi set to have a game up against Police. Meanwhile, for Maroons, they will have an encounter with the relegation candidate called Soltino Bright Stars. And the last game tonight will be a game between Express and Bull Football Club. And this game will be at 7 p.m. East African time. Then come tomorrow, expect 3 games on the card, with Mbale Heroes having a date up against Mbara City. Meanwhile, UPDF will have to sit at home as the Airtel Chitara, and the last game tomorrow will be the game between NEC Football Club and KCA. And this one is a derby because they share so many things in common, and they all use that Philip Omondi, but the home side come tomorrow will be the team of NEC Football Club. In case they win tomorrow's game, their game is not today. Their game is tomorrow. In case they beat Kasasiro boys, that means they will go to 36 points, just a point behind the team of Vipers. In case also KCA wins the game against the team of NEC in the derby, they will go to 27 points there. And let's now jet to Europe, and we talk about the Africans' favorite league. I am talking about English Premier League. I want us to analyze the table standing right now. The battle is going on, but Liverpool seems to be running away with the gong. Matthias, you look at the points gap right now, it seems to be slim, because we have seen the team of Arsenal, the Gunners, they have energized themselves in the recent games they have been playing, unlike those days, unlike in the first phase where we saw them going straight towards the end of the first phase of the season. But at the beginning of the second phase of the season, we have seen the Gunners performing very well. That's why they have closed the points gap between themselves and the team of Liverpool. Now the question is, the race is still on, and at the end there shall be 38 games played to finalize the whole season. Liverpool right now, they're on top of the log. They had 1 game pending, that's a match at hand, and it's going to be played tonight with also a tough team called Everton. It's a Merseyside derby. Derby comes up with its own tension, and we never know. Everton may surprise the world and beat Liverpool. It may end in a draw, and Liverpool may also put a star performance against Everton. They may thrust them. But you look at the both sides, Liverpool and Everton, both sides, they lost their recent encounters in FA Cup. Everton lost into the hands of Bournemouth. Meanwhile, for Liverpool, they had that shocking defeat into the hands of Plymouth Argyle, a team that plays in Championship. Now the question is, who is going to win the game? If all of you can remember, The team of Everton is now under the stewardship of their former manager. I am talking about David Moyes. Ever since he went back to Goodson Park, he has been performing very well, picking some of the interesting results. Now the question is, can he be able to put a star performance against Liverpool? Maybe help the team of Arsenal to see that the points gap still remain the same, is actually what everyone is waiting to see. But what I can say is, you look at the teams that are currently sharing the cakes of the top of the table. Liverpool is on top, being followed by the team of Arsenal. We have Nottingham Forest, that's not paving way for some of the giant teams. We have got the team of Manchester City. We cannot rule them completely out of the race. Chelsea is coming. You talk about the other smaller teams, you may mention teams like Newcastle, you may talk about Aston Villa. But at this time, let's talk about the race between amidst the four teams: Nottingham Forest, Liverpool, you talk about Arsenal, and the team of Manchester City. Which team do you think at the end will end up going with the gong? Will it be Liverpool? Yes, right now Liverpool is having the upper hand, as I had said earlier on, because they are the ones maintaining the log right now. And in case rather they win their game against Everton, the points gap will keep on widening. What about the form guide? Liverpool, in the recent fixtures they have been playing in the league. Recently, they have not been having a fine run of form. They have been picking draws here and there. If they continue with that form, and Arsenal continues with the brilliant form they have picked recently, that means it's going to be neck-to-neck competition between the two sides. What about Manchester City? Manchester City is a kind of a team, when they lose form like this, and you take the advantage of them losing the form, you can keep on winning your games, you keep on widening the points gap. But once they pick the form like this, they get reformed, Manchester City is dangerous. Then you talk about the team of Chelsea. Chelsea, the last few seasons, they have been missing to play in the top tier we have in European football. I am talking about UEFA Champions League. Are they just performing because they want to get back to that UEFA Champions League slot? You may ask yourself. What about Nottingham Forest? In the recent seasons, we have seen some of the teams, once they stick there, they always perform awesomely until the end of the season. We have seen the team of Newcastle doing that. Aston Villa recently, they have been doing that. This season we have seen Nottingham Forest. Will it be their season? Yes, we may say that they may qualify for UEFA Champions League, maybe win the gong, because we judge everything after all the 38 games. That is the brief analysis I feel I need to give as far as the log of English Premier League is concerned. But to me, the competition seems to be just for the two teams, that's Arsenal and the team of Liverpool. For Nottingham Forest, they are just looking for a way of finishing in top four. Manchester City, I should say openly, matches when they pick the form like this, as I said, they are dangerous, but this time I don't see them as a competitor when it comes to fighting for the title. Chelsea, for them, they are just accumulating points to see that they get back to their glorious moments. That's getting back to that's top four. The way I'm seeing, the battle is only for the two teams. That's Arsenal and the team of Liverpool. Let's leave that one there. And we talk about Italian Serie A. Italian Serie A, the competition is also very massive. Juventus, the old ladies, the Bianconeris, they started the season very well, but recently they have been picking draws here and there, and they have dropped so many points. That is the team of Juventus for you. What about Inter Milan? Inter Milan, in the recent years, they have been performing very well. That's why we have seen them picking trophies, Scudetto here. By the way, the unique name that's for the title, the gong in Serie A is called Scudetto. That's why we have seen them winning Scudetto. Napoli, after ending 31 years drought of not winning Italian Serie A title, recently we saw them winning under the stewardship of their striker. I am talking about Victor Osimhen. Since winning the Scudetto a year ago, they have been a team to talk about. That's why right now they are the team leading the log as far as the log of Italian Serie A is concerned, and they have been followed keenly by a team called Inter Milan, and also one team I don't want to leave out is the team of Atalanta. They are performing very well in UEFA Champions League. They are making headlines domestically. They are performing very well. Unlike AS Roma, I don't know if you have read, they have replaced as AS Roma, a team that plays at Stadio di Olimpico, because in the previous years they have been one of the teams performing very well in Italian Serie A, but right now the last few seasons they have not been performing very well. Right now, if you look at the log, they are somewhere down. They are not performing very well. And you may also mention Lazio Roma. Lazio Roma, what I know about them is they are always known of participating in European football, whether it being in UEFA Champions League, whether UEFA Europa League. But when it comes to fighting for the gong, they are not there. This time, I am looking at the three teams. That's Atalanta for you. You may mention Napoli. Not forgetting about that's Inter Milan. These are the teams I feel that are going to fight for the gong until the end of the season. AC Milan is nowhere to be seen. They sit somewhere at number 7. Fiorentina, they're even above AC Milan, but we are waiting to see how things will transpire at the end of the season. The good thing with the AC Milan is at least they have added some 2 to 3 players into their squad. All of them are experienced players. One of them we can talk about is the player Kyle Walker. Has left Manchester City, is now in AC Milan on loan basis. Leaving that one there, let's also talk about German Bundesliga. Last season, we saw the team of Bayer Leverkusen finishing the whole season unbeaten. And also in German DFB Pokal, they also won the competition unbeaten. Out of all the games they played in German Bundesliga, in German DFB Pokal, you talk about UEFA Europa, they only lost one game. That defeat was when they were actually beaten by Atalanta in the finals of that UEFA Europa League. They gave running nose to the team of Bayern Munich. But this time we have seen the Bavarians, that's Bayern Munich, they are performing very well. They are the ones leading the log. But the team of Bayer Leverkusen, they cannot pave way for them. They are following them keenly. Unlike the BVB side called Borussia Dortmund, that's sitting somewhere down, almost in the middle of the table. But teams like Stuttgart, you may mention Wolfsburg. As I said earlier on, teams like Bayer Leverkusen, you may mention teams like Bayer Leverkusen, you talk about Wolfsburg, you talk about Stuttgart, Eintracht Frankfurt. These are the teams that are right now giving run nose for the team of Bayern Munich. But the team that is following Bayern Munich keenly is the team of Bayer Leverkusen. We are waiting to see if Bayer Leverkusen will at the end surpass Bayern Munich, whereas Bayern Munich still continuing with the fine run of the form. Any big domestic league in Europe we have left out. Actually, let's talk about the French League 1. Each and every season is the principality, the princess-based club, that's Paris Saint-Germain, always leading the log when it comes to French League 1. Right now, as I speak, they are the ones leading the log. Matches teams like Olympique de Marseille, AS Monaco, Olympique Lyon, they are trying to see that they catch up with the Paris Saint-Germain. AS Roma, they started the season very well, but right now they are nowhere to be seen. That's why we have seen that wide points gap between Paris Saint-Germain and the team of Olympique de Marseille. They seems to be running away with the gong. Matches, we still have almost half of the season for the wind-up of the whole season, but Paris Saint-Germain, they are performing very well. What about Spanish Primera Division? It's always drama when it comes to Spanish Primera Division. Matches, the competition in most cases is between Real Madrid and the team of Barcelona. Late we have seen Wanda Metropolitan-based club Atletico Madrid giving that a run nose for the two giant teams we have in Spanish Primera Division. At the beginning of the season, we saw the team of Barcelona performing very well to the extent of open 10 points gap between themselves and the Los Blancos. The Los Blancos I am talking about is the team of Real Madrid, but written somewhere they kept messing in some of the games, and we saw Real Madrid coming on top. Real Madrid in also the recent fixtures, they have also not been performing very well, and we saw Atletico Madrid picking from nowhere. As I speak right now, in summary, it's going neck to neck, wire to wire amidst the three three giant teams we have in Spanish Primera Division, but still it is the team of Real Madrid leading the table, being followed by the team of that's Atletico Madrid and also Barcelona. You look at the points gap, just a difference of one. Unfortunately, teams, if you started following Spanish Primera Division a long time ago, some of the teams like Sevilla, you may mention Real Sociedad, you talk about Mestalla-based club Valencia, they are not performing very well. Right now, Valencia, they sit somewhere down in the relegation zone. Unfortunately, the likes of Malaga, they have gone to the third tier of Spanish football, but Valencia, unfortunately for them, they sit in the relegation zone. I don't know if they will be able to wake up and skip relegation is actually what everyone is waiting to see. But the biggest emphasis here is top of the table, whereby the three giant teams, Atletico Madrid, Barcelona, and Real Madrid, they are all fighting for the gong. Let's leave that one there. And we now talk about that UEFA Champions League. That's the first phase of the knockout stages, and these games actually started yesterday, whereby we had around 4 games being played, and some of the teams won their games. Meanwhile, it did not also end very well for some of the teams. There was a game between it was France affair between Paris Saint-Germain and Brest. In the process, we saw the team of Paris Saint-Germain thrusting aside Brest by 3-0. Meanwhile, for the team of Real Madrid, they got it late against the team of Manchester City at Etihad as they beat them by 3-2. That late winning goal that came from Jude Bellingham before Erling Braut Haaland's Brest, and the other goal was scored by Kylian Mbappe scored one for the Los Blancos. One came from Ibrahim Diaz, the player who was AC Milan. And then the winning goal was fired by Jude Bellingham. That means Erling Braut Haaland's Brest was useless to see that Real Madrid won the game at Etihad. Meanwhile, for Paris Saint-Germain, Vitinha scored one of the goals. Meanwhile, we saw a Brest coming from the former employee of Barcelona. I am talking about Dembele. What about for PSV Eindhoven? They were away to Juventus. In the process, they lost the encounter by 2-1. Then for BVB side, Borussia Dortmund, they were away to Portugal, facing Sporting Lisbon. They won the game by 3-0. Looking at the games that are set to be played today in UEFA Champions League, the first phase of that knockout stages, there is a game between Club Brugge. Club Brugge is a team that comes from Belgium Jupiler League. They have an interesting game up against Atalanta. Atalanta is a team that comes from Italian Serie A. Meanwhile, for AC Milan will have to collect all their things and jet to Netherlands to take on Feyenoord. What about for Celtic? Celtic is having a tough fixer up against the team of Bavarians, the winners of 2013 and 2013. They did beat their arch rivals Borussia Dortmund in the Champions League final. Again in 2020. They had a game up against, in 2020, they had a final up against a team called Paris Saint-Germain, also beating Paris Saint-Germain in the finals there. And the last game to be played tonight is actually a game between Soccer Lisboa Benfica that comes from Portugal, as they'll be traveling away to France to take on AS Monaco. Now, looking at these teams, looking at their form guide, looking at everything they share, the pedigree, everything. Which team do you think at the end will emerge as the champions of 2024/2025 UEFA Champions League? When we talk about UEFA Champions League, most of the people's mind is always about the team that's Real Madrid for you. That's why so many have termed them as the headmaster of UEFA Champions League, because every season they are always the favorites to win UEFA Champions League. But looking at all these teams at large, remember the format of UEFA Champions League has changed. This time, when the group stages came to an end, the first 8 automatic, they go ahead. Meanwhile, starting from number 9 up to 24, you first have to go a certain stage of knockout phase. That's why some of the teams, they are right now not participating in the knockout stage. You may mention teams like Arsenal. Someone might be asking, why is it that we are not seeing the likes of Villa, Bayern Munich, Arsenal, not in UEFA Champions League at this moment? For them, they performed very well. They are waiting for the other opponents who are right now playing in the phase 1 of the knockout stages. People were saying that Real Madrid of this season is defeated. They may not this time win the UEFA Champions League. But I did tell to one of my friends that Real Madrid, you will know Real Madrid when it comes to the closing edges of the competition. And the game they played against Manchester City, coming from 2-1 to win against Manchester City, shows that they have picked it from where they left it last season. So I don't rule them completely out of the game. Even I can say right now, they are the favorites. Matches people are talking about Liverpool because of the form they are having right now. Yes, you may talk about Liverpool, but remember that was the group stages yet. This is now a knockout phase, which will go up to the finals. We have ever seen Liverpool meeting Real Madrid in the finals. How many finals has Liverpool won against Real Madrid? You talk about the final of 2008. Real Madrid did beat Liverpool. You talk about the final of that 2022. It again went into the hands of Blancos. Yes, they are the form, we appreciate, but phase, so the final is a different case. In this case, I am trying to, in case Liverpool proceeds up to the finals and they happen to meet that Real Madrid, still Real Madrid is having an upper hand against the team of Liverpool. What about Bayer Leverkusen? Also in the group stages, they performed very well. People may be talking about them, but this is a team that has not been performing very well in UEFA Champions League, unlike in the era of their current head coach. I'm talking about Xabi Alonso. Last season, what did they do? They did not do anything in UEFA Champions League. In fact, they were playing in UEFA Europa League. They went very far up to the finals. But this is the biggest of it, whereby Real Madrid understands it better than any other team. What about Paris Saint-Germain? To me, the season for them to have won UEFA Champions League has gone. It was under the eras of Ibrahimovic, Lucas Moura. You may talk about players like Ezequiel Lavezzi, Thiago Alcantara, Thiago Motta, the likes of David Luiz, maybe Alex, when they were still Salvatore Sirughi, the custodian who comes from Uruguay. That was their time to have won UEFA Champions League. This time, they are like the other teams. They are like Bayer Leverkusen, they are like, you may mention, they are like Atalanta. I don't think this is the period for them to win UEFA Champions League. Their glorious moments to have won the competition has passed. Maybe they need to reform maybe in the upcoming seasons. What about Inter Milan? Inter Milan of late, they have understood the art of playing in UEFA Champions League. That's why of late they have been going at least very far. The other time they went up to the finals and they gave the chance for Manchester City to win the UEFA Champions League for the first of its kind in their season. They have a chance. What about Juventus? Also like Paris Saint-Germain, their glorious moments ended when they were still under players like Paul Pogba. You talk about Higuain, so many of them. But this time, I don't think this is a team that is having the quality to win UEFA Champions League. What about AC Milan? AC Milan of late, they are unpredictable. The moment you expect them to perform, that's when they disappoint you. When you predict that they will disappoint you, that's when you will see them flourishing. That's AC Milan for you. But I don't think their quality is far much better than that one of Real Madrid. Matches in the group stages, we saw them beating Real Madrid. But that was group stages. I still continue to repeat. What about Arsenal? Arsenal right now is a rejuvenated side. The only thing Arsenal is lacking right now might be it might be the experience of playing towards the closing edges of the competition. When it comes to the group stages like this, Arsenal always performs very well. Who doesn't know? When they are still playing in UEFA Champions League those years, Arsenal, every year you will see them going past the group stages, unlike surpassing maybe round of 16 or quarterfinals like that. But this is a different Arsenal in a different season. We never know. It might be their chance because of how they are playing, but still we can say that because they have not been having much experience of playing in the closing edges of the competition, we may somehow say that they don't have experience, that we don't talk about them, but this is a different Arsenal, a rejuvenated Arsenal. They have got the quality players, but as I said, it's only the experience that may affect them. That is the little I can say about Arsenal. What about Bayern Munich? Bayern Munich, they are having the chance because each and every season, whenever a new season of UEFA Champions League commences like this, there are always teams people talk about that are always favorites to win the league at the end. Real Madrid, you talk about Bayern Munich, you may talk about Manchester City. So that is the latest update I can give you as far as the ongoing UEFA Champions League is concerned. We are waiting to see how things will end. Will it again go into the hands of Real Madrid? Will it come to will it come to England? Maybe Manchester City, Arsenal wins it. Will it go to Italy? Because Inter Milan is doing well. AC Milan may also surprise the world. Will it go to those Netherlands, may Feyenoord is still into the competition, so we are waiting to see. Now, I want us to finalize everything with what is happening in the world of gossips. I may not be in a position to give you a lot, but if you take a look at, let's go systematically. We talk about some of the few teams that really needs improvement in their squad. Matches the transfer window has already been closed, but still teams keep on spotting, identifying players for the summer transfer window. Which teams do you think needed players in some departments before the shutdown of the January transfer window? Let's start with the team of Arsenal. Arsenal, if you look at the squad of Arsenal, right from goalkeeping department up to the attacking force, someone may say, yes, this is a team that is having quality in every department. But in goalkeeping department, we may say, yes, Raya is doing well. The goalkeeping department is okay. Truly is doing very well. What about the defense line? The defense line seems to be perfect because you look at Jurriën Timber, ever since he came back from the injury, he has been performing very well. You look at the partnership between Saliba and Magalhaes. It is working very well. You look at Zinchenko's, Ben White, how they are also doing it in the fullback positions. They are also performing very well. What about in midfield? Midfield seems to be complete, but sometimes it is Mikel Arteta who alternate things in midfield, like failing to get the good combination amidst the midfielders. Sometimes you see Arteta playing with this one, so sometimes, not Arteta rather, sometimes you see Partey playing with this one, so which doesn't make a very good combination. Sometimes you see Partey being drafted to the right hand side of the defense, they bring Declan Rice with another player, which doesn't work very well. The midfield, the setup is okay. Not the setup rather, the players are okay. They're having so many players in the midfield. Arteta sometimes mess up things by not finding a very good combination in the midfield for these players. That is the reason as to why I was saying that sometimes some of the players he uses in the midfield in some of these games, they don't make any combination. That's why sometimes Arsenal is having challenge in the midfield. What about in the attacking force? You look at the three amigos of Arsenal. The three amigos I'm talking about are the attackers. Yes, Kelly is doing well, Martinelli is doing well, Saka is doing well, Odegaard is doing well. Whenever they bring Gabriel Jesus is doing well, Havertz is doing well, not all that. To me, the problem comes in the attacking force. Arsenal needed a prolific striker. What kind of a prolific striker I am talking about? Someone may want to know. A prolific striker is a striker whom you can rely on in each and every game. You look at Havertz. Havertz is unpredictable. You cannot rely on him. The moment you will expect him to score for you, that's when he disappoints. Even if it is an empty net, you will not see Havertz slotting the ball into the back of the net. And for a team to win English Premier League, you need a prolific striker of Victor Gyökeres caliber who can be able to put for you the ball into the back of the net each and every game he plays for you. Matches we have seen some teams winning the league minus having a prolific natural striker. You talk about Barcelona. There was a time Manchester City won the league without a natural striker, but the tactics you use also matters. But right now, at the moment, does the tactics Arteta possesses with the team, can it be able to help the team of Arsenal to win the league without relying on a typical natural and prolific striker? To me, I think no. That's why we saw over the January transfer window, Mikel Arteta talking about a natural, typical striker, a natural striker. They talked about Oli Watkins. Things never worked out. So for Arsenal to win the league at this time, let me say in this season, they need to eliminate that ideology of saying that they really needed a prolific striker. Let the team have that collective effort of scoring the goals. The good thing is Arsenal, in the team of Arsenal, any player can win for you the game. I mean, any player can score for you. That means they need to eliminate that ideology of maybe relying on Havertz or as Gabriel Jesus, and it should just be a collective effort amidst the players, amidst the stakeholders, to see that the team keeps on pushing. That is what I can talk about the team of Arsenal. What about the team of Liverpool? The team seems to be balanced. The team of Liverpool seems to be balanced in all the departments, right from the goalkeeping department up to the attacking force. When they lost the Brazilian custodian, the name has just skipped out of my mind, Becker. When they lost him out injured, the goalkeeper, the custodian who came in, performed very well. And you look at the defense line is organized. When the other players out, maybe injured, maybe is fatigue, or maybe has been affected by fatigue, the player who is always brought in to fill the gap that has been left by the other defender, you'll always see the player performing very well. That's why I see that's a complete setup in the defense line of Liverpool. What about in the midfield? The midfield is okay. Mac Allister is performing extremely well. You talk about Szoboszlai. Whenever he's in the pitch, he's always at the peak. So the Liverpool midfield is fantastic. What about the attacking force? Salah is doing well. Harvey Elliott is doing well. You mentioned players like Diaz is performing very well. Gravenberch, even in the midfield, is doing well. Gakpo is very well. You bring Darwin Núñez towards the end of the game, he will produce the magic and maybe square brace. Whenever this man whom they signed from Wolves, Jota, is out injured, Liverpool, the team of Liverpool is okay, and that is the advantage of having squad depth. That is the advantage of having very many players in your team. What about the team of Chelsea? For Chelsea, I don't know what's happened at the team of Chelsea. As a soccer pundit, I can't say that I don't know what has happened at the team of Chelsea. I have to know, I have to tell to the viewers. The team of Chelsea, there are very many players. Actually, Chelsea is a team that is having so many players in every department. The only thing which I can say simply is those players, they lack the experience. They lack the experience of that containing the league. Because if it is to be with the quality of the players and also the squad depth, I would say Chelsea is one of the complete teams we have in the league at the moment. But it's not all about you having the squad depth and also the quality of the players. Experience also matters. Tell me, right from the goalkeeping department up to the attacking force, is there any player, the team of Chelsea, that has stayed more than maybe 6 to 7 seasons in the team that would act as an umbrella for the rest of the teams? Is there any other player? I don't think. Most of those players, yes, they are quality players, but without the experience. That is what I can say about the team of Chelsea. What they need to do is they need to get players that have experience of winning the title. That is the first thing. The experience of get players that have the experience of playing in European football, and at the same time retain some of their players that have understood the team, the likes of Richie James. Apart from Richie James, is there any other player that has at least served for a longer period of time at the team of Chelsea? Mention for me. The only problem at the team of Chelsea is the experience. Squad depth, they're okay. You talk about the quality of players, they're okay. Experience is actually the one thing which is killing the team of Chelsea. What about Manchester United? For Manchester United, I don't want to laugh. For Manchester United, they have failed to keep the consistency when it comes to winning the games. Manchester United, sorry to say this, they have become like an average team of Bournemouth's caliber of those days. You can't tell me that you are a very big team, you win a game today, the following game you are beaten, another game comes, you draw, another game comes, you win, the next game you are defeated. Tell me the last time Manchester United won back-to-back games in English Premier League. It has lasted for long. I think Manchester United, they need to sit down and address the issues to see that they come on top of their game. The second thing is about the player management. We have seen this one ever since the era of Erik ten Hag. Player management has become a problem at the team of Manchester United. Cristiano Ronaldo left with an awkward reason. Of recently, we saw the current head coach Amorim having problems with some of the players. One is Rashford, who has gone to Aston Villa. Garnacho was almost sold. Rashford, apart from Rashford, is there any other player since 2016 up to now? Is there any other player you can tell me at Manchester United who has been better than Rashford? To me, I would say no. Why? Rashford, much as he's a player you cannot rely on each and every season, he has been carrying the team on his shoulders. He has shown his quality for the team of Manchester United against big teams. He has been actually the fulcrum for the team of Manchester United. Yes, he's a player. He may perform for you very well this season. Next season he disappears. Another season comes, he performs very well. Another season comes, he goes down. But since 2016, this player has been the pivot, has been the fulcrum for the team of Manchester United. Much as people continue to say that, yeah, it is Bruno Fernandes, what? No, it's Rashford. What has Bruno Fernandes, what has he done for the team of Manchester United? Okay, look at the goals. Rashford, crucial goals Rashford has scored against some of the big teams. In most cases, whenever Manchester United wins against a very big opponent, like Manchester City, Arsenal, Liverpool, Rashford is always the master, is always the headmaster behind the goals. You can't lie to me that Manchester United has been beating their arch-rivals, Manchester City, just because of Rashford. Manchester United has been given running nose for the team of Chelsea because of Rashford. Manchester United has been picking some of the crucial wins against Arsenal because of Rashford. Rashford has done it against the team of Liverpool. And you have just spent less than half of the season. A player whom I termed as a legend at the club, you have failed to manage him at the end, you loan him out. Okay, let's leave it there. Actually, I'm running out of the time. It has been me, Oracle Benson Pastore, doing it for you. What I can say is Let's link up again tomorrow. We'll continue with some of the discussions about some of the teams tomorrow. Have the best of your times. Coming up next is a movie program. Enjoy it till the time of Chuku Chuku. That's an entertainment song. After that, Nilecast will be bouncing back at 7 p.m.